Genesis 15:1. After this, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision. Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield, your very great reward. Genesis 21:17. God heard the boy crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, "What is the matter, Hagar? Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there." Genesis 26:24. That night the Lord appeared to him and said, "I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. I will bless you and will increase the number of your descendants for the sake of my servant Abraham." Genesis 35:17. And as she was having great difficulty in childbirth, the midwife said to her, "Don't despair, for you have another son." Genesis 43:23. "It's all right," he said. "Don't be afraid. Your God, the God of your father, has given you treasure in your sack. I received your silver." Then he brought Simon out to them. Genesis 46:3. "I am God, the God of your father," he said. "Do not be afraid to go down to Egypt, for I will make you into a great nation there." Genesis 50:19. But Joseph said to them, "Don't be afraid. Am I in the place of God?" Genesis 50:21. "So then, don't be afraid. I will provide for you and your children." And he reassured them and spoke kindly to them. Exodus 14:13. Moses answered the people, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm and you will see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again." Exodus 20:20. Moses said to the people, "Do not be afraid. God has come to test you, so that the fear of God will be with you to keep you from sinning." Leviticus 26:6. "I will grant peace in the land, and you will lie down, and no one will make you afraid. I will remove wild beasts from the land, and the sword will not pass through your country." Numbers 6:24-26. "The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace." Numbers 14:9. "Only do not rebel against the Lord, and do not be afraid of the people of the land, because we will devour them. Their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. Do not be afraid of them." Numbers 21:34. The Lord said to Moses, "Do not be afraid of him, for I have delivered him into your hands, along with his whole army and his land. Do to him what you did to Sihon king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon." Deuteronomy 1:17. "Do not show partiality in judging. Hear both small and great alike. Do not be afraid of anyone, for judgment belongs to God." Deuteronomy 1:21. "See, the Lord your God has given you the land. Go up and take possession of it as the Lord, the God of your ancestors, told you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Deuteronomy 1:29. Then I said to you, do not be terrified. Do not be afraid of them. Deuteronomy 3:22. Do not be afraid of them. The Lord your God Himself will fight for you. Deuteronomy 7:18. But do not be afraid of them. Remember well what the Lord your God did to Pharaoh and to all Egypt. Deuteronomy 21. When you go to war against your enemies and see horses and chariots and an army greater than yours, do not be afraid of them, because the Lord your God, who brought you up out of Egypt, will be with you. Deuteronomy 23. He shall say, Hear Israel, today you are going into battle against your enemies. Do not be faint-hearted or afraid. Do not panic or be terrified by them. Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Deuteronomy 31:8. The Lord Himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Joshua 8:1. Then the Lord said to Joshua, Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Take the whole army with you and go up and attack Ai. For I have delivered into your hands the king of Ai, his people, his city, and his land. Joshua 10:8. The Lord said to Joshua, Do not be afraid of them. I have given them into your hand. Not one of them will be able to withstand you. Joshua 10:25. Joshua said to them, Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. Be strong and courageous. This is what the Lord will do to all the enemies you are going to fight. Joshua 11:6. The Lord said to Joshua, Do not be afraid of them, because by this time tomorrow I will hand all of them, slain, over to Israel. You are to hamstring their horses and burn their chariots. Judges 4:18. Jael went out to meet Sisera and said to him, Come, my lord, come right in. Don't be afraid. So he entered her tent, and she covered him with a blanket. Judges 6:23. But the Lord said to him, Peace. Do not be afraid. You are not going to die. 1 Samuel 4:20. As she was dying, the women attending her said, Don't despair, you have given birth to a son. But she did not respond or pay any attention. 1 Samuel 12:20. Do not be afraid, Samuel replied. You have done all this evil, yet do not turn away from the Lord, but serve the Lord with all your heart. 1 Samuel 22:23. Stay with me. Don't be afraid. The man who wants to kill you is trying to kill me too. You will be safe with me. 1 Samuel 23:17. "Don't be afraid," he said. "My father Saul will not lay a hand on you. You shall be king over Israel, and I will be second to you. Even my father Saul knows this." 1 Samuel 28:13. The king said to her, "Don't be afraid. What do you see?" 2 Samuel 9:7. "Don't be afraid," David said to him, "for I will surely show you kindness for the sake of your father Jonathan. I will restore to you all the land that belonged to your grandfather Saul, and you will always eat at my table." 1 Kings 17:13. Elijah said to her, "Don't be afraid. Go home and do as you have said. But first make a small loaf of bread for me from what you have, and bring it to me. And make something for yourself and your son." 2 Kings 1:15. The angel of the Lord said to Elijah, "Go down with him. Do not be afraid of him." So Elijah got up and went down with him to the king. 2 Kings 6:16. "Don't be afraid," the prophet answered. "Those who are with us are more than those who are with them." 2 Kings 19:6. Isaiah said to them, "Tell your master, this is what the Lord says. Do not be afraid of what you have heard, those words with which the underlings of the king of Assyria have blasphemed me." 2 Kings 25:24. Gedaliah took an oath to reassure them and their men. "Do not be afraid of the Babylonian officials," he said. "Settle down in the land and serve the king of Babylon, and it will go with you."